Today, guys, I told you I've been making another video, that I'd make another video for you guys. My Integra recently died, and for any of you that are having ignition problems where your car, one day you just come out and it won't start. It'll crank, but it won't start. Generally, most of the time, it's an ignition problem. Ignition problem, it could be one of two things. Distributor, something's wrong inside here, or something wrong with the fuel system. 9 times out of 10, it's going to be in here. And this isn't the first time it's happened to me. So for right now, I will be showing you how to replace the ignition coil, because that's what my issue was. If this happens to you, I would check the distributor and your fuel system. But I'll make another video on how to actually diagnose your ignition system and your fuel system in another video. But for right now, I'm going to show you how to replace your ignition coil, how to take apart your distributor. In the next video, I'll show you how to test your distributor to see which is bad. So let's get started. So basically, you're going to want to take, on your distributor here, you got 2 bolts up top, and you got a bolt on the bottom, bolt and screw. So I've already got mine out. So once you take these out, your distributor cap should just pop right off. Once that's off, just set it to the side. Now you'll see here you've got your rotor, and then you've got your ignition coil cover, your distributor cover. You're going to want to take this rotor off. Now look at the position of the actual rotor. You'll see that there's a screw on the back here that if the rotor is not facing in this position, you will not be able to get to the screw back here in order to get the rotor off to get this cover off. But I've already turned my ignition to get this screw in the position. There we go. And it's probably going to be on there a little tight, so give it good pressure. You don't want to strip this out. If you strip it out, be a bad day for you. And luckily this time, guys, I've got somebody else holding the camera for me. So take that screw out, and you'll see here, just give it pressure here, just pull it straight back. There's your rotor. This is what gives your spark to all 4 of your plugs in your cap. So just set that to the side. Now you can take off this cover here. Set that to the side. This is your ignition coil. And then down here, this right here is your ICM, ignition control module. 9 times out of 10 it's going to be your ignition coil that goes bad, but sometimes it can be the igniter. There's like thermal paste in underneath here, in between the actual distributor and this, your igniter, and sometimes that goes bad and this overheats and your car will shut off. If your car ever shuts off when you're driving and you wait 10-15 minutes and it starts back up, chances are it's going to be your igniter, because the thermal paste, the seal, that bond, is gone. So if that ever happens, I would look at taking this out, getting some Arctic 5 thermal paste from Radio Shack and taking that out, put some new thermal paste on it, putting it back in, and you should be good. But for right now, this is your ignition coil. This is my issue. This is my old one. I've already taken this out and put my new one in, and it worked. It started right up. But for right now, I'm going to show you how to take this out. There's 2 screws on the top of the ignition coil. I'm going to take those out. And there's 2 screws here on your negative and your positive. You're going to want to be careful of not stripping these out either. They're very short, very small. So don't drop those fuckers. Oh, and I probably should have added, you might want to disconnect your negative battery. Might want to go ahead and disconnect your negative battery, because if you don't, and these two wires right here, if these touch from your ignition coil, you'll get a short. Might hurt your system, might not. I've never tried it. I don't plan on it. But then the old ignition coil, it should just slide right out of there. And that is how you take the ignition coil out. Now you'll notice the difference between my old one and my new one. They look the same, but this one is beat to hell, and this one brand new. So we'll put this one in. Put it in. Want to make sure your positive is down and the negative's on the top. And it should just slide right into place. Now, put your two wires back on there. Basically the reverse order. Put the two wires on there. Put your cap back on. Put your rotor back on. And then put your screw on back here. And then finally, put your cap back on. Now the reason why I'm not going through the whole entire reinstall, because it's basically simply just the same reverse. I think that's it for now. I'm going to go ahead and leave this the way it is, because I want to take it apart so that I can show you guys how to diagnose it. Like I said, if you have a crank but no start problem, 9 times out of 10 it is going to be the ignition system itself, distributor, whether it's a wire from your ECU to your distributor, which I was hoping it wasn't. Thank God it wasn't. It was just simply the ignition coil. So I will show you how to diagnose the ECM, or the ICM, sorry, and the ignition coil, and show you how to do all that with your spark plugs. So until next time, guys, thanks.